very good last night, but in the morning I felt, the moment I get up, I felt a little down. And now the fever is increasing. Yeah. But still I will try to do the justice, the topic you have given me. Yes, here it is. Actually, this is my favorite topic. I like to talk a lot about this kind of things. But today I'm a little down, so I'm really sorry. So, why we have to talk about moral education? You know, in the olden times, moral education was the core of the education. It was considered as something which we must learn. But during the Renaissance, it was thought that moral education is a kind of hindrance. You know, a scientific logic, so-called logical reasoning should be taught to students. So, in the last century and in the 20th century, more emphasis was given to logical thinking and scientific reason. So suddenly what happened, suddenly the moral education was completely ignored, and suddenly the gap has started, you know. A gap has started emerging between the skills you learn at the office, the skills you learn to do the job, but the skills you need to live your life as a whole. So there is a fundamental gap, what we need to live a good life and what we need to have a good successful career. So according to the survey, you spend only 40% time in the office. 60% of time you still spend in outside the office. It means you spend a lot of time. At the office. So question is, but the education we are getting during the school, during your school years, is nothing to do with that. How do you live your life, normal life? So whole emphasis has been given how to get a good job, how to have more money, how to have more promotions. So serious gap have emerged between what we are taught in the school and what we actually need in the life. Just this gap is causing all the problem. So students don't know what to do when they are having a problem at home, when they are having a problem in the society. So the problem of climate change, the problem of growing population, lot of problems are there. But most of students don't even know how to handle them and what they can do about it. So at one time you are PhD and you have a lot of skills, but another time on the other side you are completely illiterate. So you don't know, like for example, I got a PhD, but I'm sick, I don't know, what should I do now? So suddenly the gap is so much between the actual needs and so even the PhD people sometimes feel lost. Suddenly feel, oh, you know nothing more. Suppose you study your PhD in economics and you are sick. You go to hospital, the kind of turns the juice, the kind of what's the juice, you feel, oh my God, where are you? And you go to internet, suddenly the terms the juice and the terms the what's the juice, suddenly you feel lost. So there is serious fundamental crisis in the education system, how they look at the education today. I think this gap is causing a lot of problems. Actually, all the problems in societies which we are seeing today is because of the gap between the moral education and between the actually what we need. And this gap has to be narrowed. But moral education has been completely misunderstood in the 21st century. It is told us that moral education means speak the truth, always follow your parents, always follow religion. No. Moral education is much more than this sort of fundamental moral values. Much more. Moral education, as you know, when you are in school, we were taught that moral education, moral science is the first science. But so far, we were told that morality is a kind of confusion. It can confuse you. But if you study the moral education, it's a fundamental science. The earth is running, whole universe is running with a very strict science. And they are moral science. So the moral science teaches us the relationship between cause and effect. In India, we have a Gita, The fundamental principle of Gita is the cause and effect. Every cause has effect. every action has a reaction. And this was taught not by science, this was taught by religion. So fundamental moral value of life is taught by morality. And they are teaching reasonable thinking. So first of all, students should remove this misconception that morality takes you to confusion, takes you to kind of some subjective value which can confuse you in this global side. No, moral science is very important, and moral education is very important for today's life, and it teaches you some of the fundamental values we need to live a good life. So first of all, I like to clear the perception that moral education is a kind of confusion and should be avoided in the school. So fundamental mistake has been made in the school education system that morality has been completely ignored. When we was in the school, we was taught in the school assembly every morning about the value of a good living. But now very few schools have morning assembly. You know, we used to have a morning assembly. Where every 10-15 minutes in the school, we was given a lesson about the moral values. But now, morning assembly system has been completely washed away. And this can cause a lot of problems. And actually, this is causing a lot of problems. So this has to be corrected. And because the concept of morality and concept of moral science has been completely wiped out, it has instilled in students the feeling of material needs more and more. So greed, you know, which is a fundamental human instinct, has been given too much pump. And the qualities which control the greed, the quality which control the unlimited desire for material gain has been completely washed away. And this is causing a lot of problems. This is causing a lot of problem in human relationships, in office relationships. So morality was fundamental tool how to control your animal instincts, the greed. But why is so much crisis in the environment? God has given us a lot of good environment, but now there's a big crisis. Why? It's a human greed. Desire to have more and more. And this student should have been taught this fundamental value in the school itself. But nobody tell them, no, there's no curriculum in the school which teaches you that greed is bad. That greed can cause a lot of problems. That should be restricted about human action. But this causes serious problem. When students are being taught how to become successful all the time, how to get into good school, how to get into good university, how to get more and more. And if you are not able to do that, what happens? You start losing your inner confidence. In every situation, in every field, 2-3 people who are good at getting good score, they get good school, but other students lose self-confidence. So 70% and 80% of students who are otherwise very good, but they are not able to get good scores, they are not able to into good school, they lose self-confidence, inner confidence. How can you bypass the 70% of the population, 80% population just like that? So we are in self-hurt mode. Where 70 to 80% of students are told, oh, you're not good for nothing. You cannot go into good school, good university, you cannot go into good school, so you are nothing. So from the school itself, you are taught, oh, if you do not go to good university, if you do not go to Seoul, so see what is happening in Korea. In Korea, Seoul University is a mark of your excellence, a mark of your bestness. You know? If you are not go to Seoul University, it means you are not human. So Koreans are in self-hurt mode. 90% of students has been taught that if you are not able to get into these 3 best schools in Korea, then you are not able to do anything. But if you study closely, most of scientists, most of the diplomats, most of the university students are coming from other schools. But the moment you know what happens, you will see. Let's take a technical example. The moment you go to 9th grade, you're taught to start taking your exam. Study hard, study hard. Why? You have to go to best school. But best school, Sole. If you don't go to Sole, what will happen? Oh, you are not human. Your life is ruined. So from the day one, from day one you're told, Sole, Sole, Sole. So this whole nation is hurt. If you are taught the power of inner confidence, power of inner strength, self-confidence, you can achieve anything at any stage of human life. So we was taught that it's never too late. It's never too late. From where this power comes? This power comes from moral training, moral action. But now in Korea, what is happening? Oh my God! The moment you go to 9th grade, you start smoking, start going to movies, start meeting your friends, stop playing games. Please focus on your entrance exam so that you can go to Johnson University or Sole University. If you don't go there, your life is ruined. I want to tell the students, no, there's life beyond that. You can achieve success at any time. This power of self-confidence, this power of inner strength comes from moral training, moral education. That is why a student must be taught at a school level that it's never too late. There's always a opportunity. You can, if you have a self-confidence, if you have a self-inner strength, you can always do it. There are many people who never thought of something, but suddenly at a later stage of life, they achieved a great success. So this power of self-confidence, power of inner strength must be taught at the school level. Let me give you an example. We have a prime minister in India, okay? That gentleman never went to any good school. Never went to any good school. He always, what made him prime minister today? He is leading us. We hold such high school degrees, such it. But he is the prime minister. So you have to wonder, what is the qualities you need to be leader? It's not a degree from Harvard. Believe me, it's not a degree from Harvard. And believe me, it's not a degree from Yale University. There's Yale University here. It's something more, okay? What is that? It's the self-confidence. And self-confidence from inner power. So the purpose of my today coming here to teach you the value of inner strength. To teach you the power of self-confidence. So never listen to those people who tell you that if you don't go to Sole, you are ruined. My friends, develop the power of inner confidence. Develop the power of inner self-belief. And it comes from within. And it comes from God. The guy who is Prime Minister of India, the only power he has is the power from inner confidence. The way he speaks, he can move almost anybody. The power it comes from the words he speaks. You could do if you study logically, if you study theoretically, make no sense, They are not correct. Not necessarily some high wisdom words, but they move everybody because they are spoken with such a strength, such a power that they conquer the minds of everyone. So he's a prime minister now. Sorry. So many people ask you, your children ask you, Dad, you are so educated. Why are you just a professor? He's just a middle school, and he's a prime minister. Why you feel that you should listen to him? Why the whole world feel that he's our leader, that he should guide us? His theory of economics, his theory of politics, his theory of military is not necessarily a highly wisdom. But he's our prime minister. We have to take order from him. So, what makes you leaders, what makes you to lead is the power of self-confidence, power of inner strength. And power of inner strength comes from self-belief. The power of self-belief comes from moral education. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to build your base with the fundamental moral values. In the school, sometimes you're told, speaking of loving your parents, loving your brother and sister, respecting your teachers, and helping your friends does not help you. No, these fundamental core values do help you. It helps you to build your character, which can take you to anywhere. So those fundamental values which was taught in the old books, are still good. So you guys are lucky to have an opportunity to listen to a lecture like this. But in school they never told you. Sometimes you wonder, look around, So look around. People who are actually leading you are not necessarily are best educated, or not necessarily went to best schools. But somehow their self-confidence, their inner strength moves you and make you believe that I should follow him. And people in millions follow him. So the power of inner strength comes from morality. So loving it. So you guys can ask me, okay, we want to develop inner power, inner strength, the power of moral action. How it comes? How can we develop? So today I will tell you how we can develop the power of inner strength, which can move mountains. Which can no matter where you are, can always make you victorious. Can always want to achieve you anything. Just not just material wealth, but always everything. No matter whether you get a degree from Harvard, whether you get a degree from Seoul National University, go anywhere. There's so many people like you. What will make you what will separate you from others? The power of self-confidence.